It's so funny the things that people look up about me. I guess what people didn't know was like what I did before my hair fell out. Like, who was I? What did I do? Where did I come from? And I never thought about explaining that for some reason. So today I'm going to be telling you guys a bit about the history of who I am and how I got to where I am today. Basically, I grew up in a small town in northern New Hampshire. I graduated with like 90 something kids in my class. Everyone knew each other and everyone had an idea of like what people were going to be like after high school. I was voted most dramatic, surprisingly, like what the heck, why? And I was voted most likely to become a movie star. In high school, I was a dancer, I was a cheerleader, I sang in choir, and I was in like every musical ever. School gave me the most anxiety. I was really affected by the people that I surrounded myself with and feeling that I had to look a certain way every single day to be able to hold my like status in school or something like that. It's actually funny because all throughout like school and growing up, I never like hated how I looked, but I knew that I never photographed really well. My friends and I would always do like little photo shoots and whatnot, and I was actively told that I should be the one taking the pictures because I don't look good in them. Yeah. But fast forwarding after high school, I didn't really have a plan for my life other than to save money and then go to college because that's, you know, what people do. You know, when you grow up in such a secluded area, you feel like the only way for you to leave is if you did go to college. After high school, I got into a bit of a rut and I ended up working at my local grocery store. I felt really like down about myself. I felt like everyone in school thought that I would go so far in life and I didn't, and I wasn't, and I didn't even know what I wanted to do in life really. And then my hometown friend offered for me to buy his camera from him, and I thought like, why not? I had money saved and I had nothing to do with it really. And so I bought his camera and he told me that he wanted a new one so he could film better YouTube videos. And I was like, YouTube? What? Like, what do you mean YouTube? You make YouTube videos in your bedroom? Like, what? But I was really interested because I love entertaining and I really liked being creative. So he showed me how to use the camera and he talked me through making my first YouTube video. And that opened a huge door for me. So suddenly I hated my life a little less because weekly I was creating YouTube videos that I really liked, that I thought were really fun and creative, and I wasn't making them for anyone. I was making them for me, and I was making them because I wanted somewhere to put my creative mind that, you know, I had lost after graduating. And I remember the day I hit 100 subscribers. I was so happy. It was crazy because I was like, 100 people, that's more than the people I graduated with. 100 people clicked subscribe on my channel. That is crazy. And then my friend James, the one who sold me the camera, told me that I should think about going to Playlist Live DC. That was in September of 2015. And so I went to Playlist Live DC and it was the most amazing experience of my life. I mean, like, Jenna Marbles was in the room. Wow, like it was just so amazing seeing everybody that also liked making YouTube videos, and that's all everyone talked about. And I was like, oh my god, I want to be a part of this forever. And then when I flew home, my mom asked me how it was and I told her that it was so great and I couldn't wait until the next one. And then my mom told me that I couldn't go to the next one because I was living at home to save money for college. And I was like, what do I do? So then James called me and he asked, why don't I think about moving to Los Angeles with him? And I was like, oh my god, I can do that. I can just do that. There's so much in the world and there's so much to do and see, and what holds you back? Fear of failing, fear of going somewhere that you don't know. I had enough money in my pocket that I could, you know, live freely for a little bit. So I said, why not? And then a few months later, in January 2016, I packed up my car and I drove across the country, and I lived in an Airbnb for a month, and then I moved in with my friend, and then there was 4 of us living in a tiny 150 square foot apartment. It was a terrible place. It was next to Skid Row in downtown LA. Because we all moved out here to chase our dreams, none of us wanted to face the reality that we were all running out of money. Slowly, one after another, everyone moved home. And I was the only one left. I didn't want to make YouTube videos anymore. I didn't want people to see that I moved to Los Angeles to chase this dream and I was living so poorly. And so suddenly Instagram became a way that I could show that I lived in LA, and it looked like I was living a better life, but I really wasn't. I remember the day my friend asked for a haircut from our other friend, and so she came over and cut his hair, and at the same time I was like, you know what, maybe I should get a haircut. And so I asked for a trim, and I went from having hair down to my waist to having hair like barely to my shoulders. And my friend felt so bad. But I looked at myself in the mirror and I took a deep breath and I was like, you know what, this can be good. Back home in New Hampshire, I asked my local hair salon lady how much it would cost for me to dye my hair pink, because that's something I always wanted. And she told me she wouldn't do it. So in LA, now that my hair is shorter, I thought, you know what, since it's shorter, it's gonna be a lot cheaper. So since I got this haircut, why don't I go to the hair salon down the street and just do it. So within a week, I went from having long natural hair down to my waist to having hair to my shoulders and bleached out all in one day and then turned hot pink. And I was like a new person. There was a bit of regret during the process because I was like, this is way too pink. I wanted it to be very pastel, very light, very nonchalant. Suddenly, I was a cartoon character. I just decided that that was gonna be my new thing. So also at that point, I started hanging out at a cafe in Studio City, and that's where I made a lot of friends that were actors and singers and dancers. Suddenly, I was known as like the bubblegum princess. People recognized me from my hair. Then in September of 2016, when I was living in LA, I went back to Playlist Live DC, and that is when I discovered live streaming. I walked into a room of people playing poker and dancing and singing, and they were all making money while just hanging out because they were live streaming. I was stunned. I was like, you know what? I think I have a pretty fun personality. What if I did that? Like, I wonder how well I would do. And at that point, I had an office job where I was a receptionist that I just sat there and shredded papers all day. I really didn't do anything, but I made a lot of money sitting there, to be honest. So I went back to LA and I went back to my office job, working 8 to 5 every day, and then I would go home, and then I would live stream for 2 hours, then I would go out with my friends until like 3 in the morning, and then I would go home and sleep for like 4 hours, and then I would do it again. I was living my best life, making money during the day with a real job, and then I'd go home and I would make money while just telling stories and being a fun personality online, and I grew a fan base doing that. But then because I was live streaming and doing all these other things, I guess the friend group I was in got like offended, or they got upset or something that I wasn't around that much. And next thing I knew, they didn't want to hang out with me anymore. And then next thing I knew, I was moving in with my friend Haley, and I met my friend Dana, and then we all moved into an apartment together. I was miserable at my office job because the woman I was working under was literally bullying me every single day. She literally made me cry every single day, making me feel like I wasn't good enough for the company. And so I decided at that point that I made barely enough money live streaming every month, coincidentally, because it's not guaranteed, that I could realistically quit my day job and live stream at least once a day, and I would be okay. After being yelled at for not bringing a pie on Pie Day, I was screamed at because I didn't think of bringing a pie to my office job on Pie Day. So I told my boss, I was like, hey, listen, I can't do this anymore, and I'm not gonna tell on anyone, but like, that woman is crazy. And then I went home, and then I was just a full-time live streamer, and I would live stream at least 2 hours a day still, and be this fun personality online, and I was booking modeling stuff. I was working on my Instagram a lot, and then Haley and I started a little YouTube channel together, and life became fun again. What I realized while live streaming that was really important was people were more inclined to come into my live streams if I had a really pretty picture as my icon. Because if I was making a funny face, or if it was a cartoon picture of me, people didn't want to even see what my live stream was about. And that's when I really realized that I had to work a little bit harder and really focus on my external appearance. And at that point, I decided to be a part of this live streamer house thing. It was me and a giant group of live streamers on that app. We rented out a giant house, and we all live streamed and hung out and filmed videos there. But within one day, the house was trashed. Everyone was being so disrespectful to one another. It was like an MTV, like real world, crazy, crazy time. And it was turned into one of the most dramatic pieces of my life. It was insane. One day we left because Brandon booked a photo shoot, and he said that they would take pictures of me as well. So we went to Hollywood for the day, did this photo shoot, and when we got back to the house, the police were there, the lights were cut off, and everyone was like screaming bloody murder, that like someone broke into the house or someone kicked down a door, and it was insane. insane, and we realized that we could not be there. We drove back to my place, and Brandon ended up living with me for, I think, a month. And during that month, we became friends with a photographer, and then we started hanging out in Hollywood like every single day with this new group of friends. And then we all decided to start branding ourselves together. And we had a name for our like little group, and we did photo shoots together, and every day we would work on our social media. It was like working, but it was super fun. But then the group got a little bit more tense because one guy was pretending he liked one guy, and then he was dating the friend, and it was just like, there was a lot of drama that ended up happening, so we decided to just like cut it, and we were not gonna do this group anymore. When the group was kind of coming to its end, I was running on like $0. Live streaming was not cutting it. Though I was getting a lot of followers doing this little social media group thing, I wasn't making money from it. I was just, you know, having fun. But realistically, I shouldn't have been doing that. I should have been focusing on making money and getting a job, but I didn't. At that point, it was October of 2017 that I had like maxed out my credit cards, and I couldn't afford to get my hair done that month. So at home, my friend Dana and I bleached my roots, and that's also when I decided that I wanted to save money again, and I decided to put a chemical relaxer in my hair so that I could save money if I'm not straightening it and putting all this product in it all the time. And well, you know what happened from there was I lost my hair. You know, I was thousands of dollars in debt. I was pretending that I was living this awesome Hollywood life, and now I had no hair. And that made me realize how much I hated everything about me. I hated myself, I hated where I lived, I hated what I'd done with my life, and I gave up. I took all my pictures off of my Instagram. I called my mom and showed her how they had to shave my head at the salon, and it was really hard. And then my friend Dana and Jack told me that I should make a YouTube video talking about what happened to my hair. Because not only would I get my story out for my friends, my family, and the people that were following me since live streaming and doing the social media group, but also putting the video out there could help other people. I built up the courage, and I sat down, and I remember Dana was sitting on the floor behind the camera. I posted the video, and it blew up. People still watch it today. It's at 12 million views or something like that. And I mean, that's great that a lot of people can watch that video and people can relate, or, you know, people think that I'm crazy and sad for no reason. But, you know, at the end of the day, everybody that saw it and felt for me and helped me through it then, I mean, you guys, like, saved me. You guys really saved me. Because there was an ad before that video, I was able to make money from YouTube, which is something I was never able to do before. I think it took like a week or two, but I decided that I was gonna start posting on YouTube twice a week. So now it's been over a year. I'm literally living the dream life that I wanted in 2015. Life is crazy. I'm glad that I finally got to share a lot of my story with you guys. Those of you that are watching, go for your dreams, because like, what else are you gonna do? You know? I asked you guys to comment some questions on my last YouTube video about my life before my hair incident. And so these are some of the questions that you guys said. What was your favorite thing that you did with your hair before? I did half purple and half pink in my hair, and it was so cool. What's the longest your hair has been? My hair was down past my hip bones. I would like sit on my hair. I had to move my hair so I could sit down. It's pretty cool. And you should talk about why you like dyeing your hair. I like dyeing my hair because I liked the personality that it gave me. I liked people recognizing me that way. It's like getting your nails done, but it's something that everyone can see from like miles away, you know? Talk about struggles that you had with your hair before it fell out and about your social life. So I basically said that. The struggle with bleaching your hair and getting it colored, what I noticed throughout like the whatever 2 years of bleaching it out was that my hair went from here to here to here to here. It just got shorter and shorter. I thought I was doing everything right, and I thought my hair was not damaged at all, honestly. I really did not think my hair was damaged. Silly me, you know. Thank you everybody that sent me questions. Thank you everybody that watches my YouTube videos. I hope this video has helped someone, anyone. If not, then maybe it was just a good form of entertainment. Who knows? I want to give a huge shout out to Jennifer Hammond. Thank you so much for clicking the join button down below. If you guys want to become a channel member and get your name shouted out in my videos, watch exclusive live streams, and be able to talk to me on a separate community page, make sure to click the join button down below. Make sure to expand the description box and check out some of the links down below. Oh my god, I also have new merch coming, so make sure to keep an eye out on hannahforcier.merchlabs.com. Also, YouTube isn't really sending out a lot of my notifications to people, so if you did get a notification for this, then you're like one of the lucky 2% of people that are getting my notification. So if you know other people that are subscribed to me, make sure to share this video with them so they can see it as well. Enlighten someone, and eventually you will get to where you want to be, but just know that right now in your life, you are exactly where you need to be. That's something that I actively have to remind myself. Thank you guys so much for watching yet again, and you guys are so amazing, and I will see you next time. Bye!